Save the date. China's Communist Party will hold its 20th National Congress on October the 16th. Despite COVID, the economy problems in China, and tensions over Taiwan, President Xi Jinping is expected to secure a very rare third term, making him the country's most forceful leader ever since Mao Zedong.
Joining us now to discuss this is author of The Great U.S.-China Tech War, Gordon Chang. As always, great to have you in with us, Gordon.
Thank you so much, Bianca and John.
All right, so Gordon, we got the National Congress coming up on October 16th. Talk to us about what we can expect to play out, and also, is there any indication that President Xi might do something like invade Taiwan to strengthen his hand ahead of the National Congress?
We have all of these drone incidents over the last 3 or 4 days, and so that's very puzzling to me, because the general assumption has been that Xi Jinping would get his unprecedented third term as Communist Party General Secretary at the 20th National Congress, so you would think that he would not try to roil the waters. Now, I don't know what exactly is going on. My guess could very well be that Xi Jinping wants to get something that he doesn't already have. So, for instance, he could want the title chairman or people's leader or something like that, which is being denied to him. Or maybe he's concerned that the party is going to enact restrictions on his freedom of movement as leader, and he wants to make sure that that doesn't happen. But, you know, this is really a mystery, John.
And, Gordon, things are not great, inside China. There are political challenges. There's real estate concerns, which have obviously led to huge banking issues. There's been a scandal, hundreds of people arrested for a scam. There were the run on the banks. So, Xi Jinping does face political challenges. How do you see them weighing in here, and how is he able to overcome all of those?
That's a great question, because I don't have the answer. There's a couple things here. China's political system looks like it's about to reward somebody who is responsible for all of these domestic failures you talk about. The debt crisis, the bank runs, the contracting economy, worsening food shortages, deteriorating environment, and these COVID-19 outbreaks, which his zero COVID policies have completely failed. So, he's being rewarded for disaster. And that just shows you how abnormal the Communist Party's system is, because you'd think that he wouldn't get a third term.
Well, I'm never trying to stump you here, but hey, it's just people are looking at it. Maybe they think this is better than, just having some form of stability is what they see, maybe.
Well, to quote Mel Brooks, it's good to be the king. When you're President Xi and there's all this momentum behind him, it's not like, he has constantly, suppressed his political rivals. He has obtained this much power. It's not easy to flip the switch and find somebody new, is it, Gordon?
Yeah, you guys are absolutely right about that, because in his 10 years in power, he's been able to consolidate his position, not only with civilian leaders, because he has jailed his opponents, but also with the military, which is the most cohesive, most important faction in the Communist Party. So you put that all together, it's just that his political power trumps everything. And that is just the nature of Chinese communist politics, that if you are good at political maneuvering, you can do what you want despite a record of failure.
Gordon, this just reminds me, whatever happened to Jack Ma? He was arrested. Do we ever hear from him again? Jack Ma, I believe.
Yeah, very, very little. The founder of Alibaba and Ant Group. He actually fled China. He did that on a commercial flight because they were watching private planes. He ended up in Paris, I think, of all places. We haven't heard the last couple months or so from him, but clearly this is an example of entrepreneurs leaving China because they see a war is coming. They don't want to stick around for the debacle.
Yeah. Or to be imprisoned again like he was.
Right, with all that, obviously, the protests. There's a new report that came out that caught our attention from the UN talking about China committing serious human rights.
Yes.
The violations against the Uyghur Muslims. The Chinese government obviously still denies these accusations, but this report, Gordon, calls for China to make reparations. And another thing, the UN's calling for the U.S. to pay reparations for slavery in the past. Does this new report from the UN have any teeth?
Well, it has, obviously China likes the idea of the U.S. paying reparations. But, the question is, if we're going to talk about reparations, what about the people in Africa who sold their fellow tribes members? Why not reparations for white people? Because the Muslims, they attacked Europe and got to the gates of Vienna. How about the Mongols for invading Hungary? I mean, this is just endless. And this shows you how bad the UN is. China has taken over the UN system. It delayed that report that you referred to on the Uyghurs. It watered it down. And it paired it with this call for reparations from the U.S. so that we wouldn't talk about China's crimes against humanity. We're now talking about this.
That's the problem, as you indicated, with the UN. There is this constant seeking of moral equivalency for these problems. Obviously, the slavery you talked about, Gordon, the slavery that happened here is hundreds of years in the past. The Chinese slavery is happening right now. And we often talk about this, too, with the UN. As long as China holds a permanent seat on the UN Security Council, there is no point of a UN.
That's right. I mean, the UN was never meant to deal with great power conflict, but the most important thing today is great power conflict. You got China and Russia there. They're blocking the organization, and so it's become useless. And you can say the same thing about the G20 as well. I believe that the United States needs to say, look, we're a democracy. We're going to work with other free societies and turn their backs on the UN and G20 and other globalist institutions, which are completely failing.
Yeah, and that's why we are still concerned about the situation in Ukraine as well, even though the UN atomic energy investigators are there right now. Monstrous concerns about their ability to actually mitigate that problem. Great to see you, Gordon Chang. We always appreciate it.
Thanks, John and Bianca.
Thanks, Gordon.